Because of this kind of, of news, no? Tingnan mo, ang dami sa atin mga naka-face mask. Takot na eh. And even sa Dagupan, nag-declare na sila doon na mag-face mask na. Oh, what's next? Takot na naman tayo lahat? Face mask na naman tayo lahat? O tapos, lockdown na naman tayo? O, pag hindi ka vaccinated ng another vaccine na i-order ng WH, i-impose sa atin, i-mandate sa atin, hindi ka na naman makakalabas? That's what you want to happen again to all of us? Kailangan kumilos po tayo, mga kasama.
Cases that we have in the Philippines right now?
I have no data on the actual,
wala kayong data.
because this is we're
Bakit
speaking
high
of
alert yan?
international data.
The Congress will be consulted. Pero yung amendments to the IHR, kung hindi nagpa-hearing si Congressman Dan Fernandez, we wouldn't know anything about it. Yun ang katotohanan. And there are some reports na in the US, it's a purely executive function.
Yes. Correct.
O, kayo ang gumagawa kasi taga-DOH po kayo eh. Di po ba? Kaya ngayon tanong namin ni Congressman Abante, it's parallel. What were the guidance given our contingent who will attend or who are attending yung World Health Assembly vis-a-vis the amendments? Yun ang gusto lang namin malaman eh. Kasi we can see that in the amendments, some would impinge on our sovereignty. Some would impinge in our individual rights and freedom. Some will impinge on our privacy. Yun naman ang concern namin. Kaya nga tinatanong namin eh. Pero wala naman kayong may sagot na diretso. Sa totoo lang. Di ba? Kasi you have a working group and you haven't had a final position on the matter. That is the status, Mr. Chairman, issue na ito.
Director Eleli, sinabi kanina ni Congressman Acop that itong agreement na ito ng WHO is an executive function in the states. That's the reason why yung sulat ng mga senador ng US is requesting the President to actually go against the grain of the WHO. Ngayon sa atin naman, being a representative democracy, dapat naman bigyan kami ng galang ng DOH na alam namin ang dapat nangyayari dito. Alam namin. So we could be able to also partner with you as far as the plight of our people is concerned. Kasi nakikita namin ngayon, even the US Congress believes that the World Health Organization is becoming very powerful in the United Nations. It is becoming the governing body.
Yes.
Actually, of the world. Oo. Di ba?
Di ba tayo natatakot dyan? Di ba tayo natatakot dyan? Kami dito, worry na worry kami. Ayaw ko sa inyo kung nagre-relax kayo. Pero before, siguro si Attorney Lat. Tapos tanungin ko si Clark, si Salig. Supposedly, si Congressman Siya, ikaw na nga. Congressman.
Yeah, kasi gusto ko lang, hanggang ngayon, di pa ako ma-resolve dun sa mga sinasabi nila na yeah. I'd like to ask Attorney, Attorney Lat. Okay. I'd like to ask you, Attorney Lat. You mentioned about yung tama po, no? There are two things that we're discussing here: the pandemic agreement and the one, yung international health regulations. And then there are amendments, no? Ang sabi nila, it has not been decided yet, and so the Philippines has no official position on it other than supporting. No, nakita natin. I'd like to ask, because you also told this committee that in many cases, the amendments and the regulations do not necessarily pass through the scrutiny of Congress. And that's your fear. And that is actually a fear that we share with you, the members of this committee. I'd like to expound you on that. And because I'm asking you this, Mr. Chair, I'm asking Attorney Lat, because in have you heard about New Zealand trying to, in their law, trying to opt out from any international agreements because they have experienced in the past during the pandemic that there are several deaths and mga injuries that may have caused by the vaccines. And that's why they are now trying to move out from that paradigm of surrendering their sovereign rights to an international entity when it comes to regulating health issues, no, in their land, in their area in New Zealand, and they are now trying on their own, trying to build a more robust local guidelines that would serve them better, no. So I'd like to ask you, can you expound on that, because we've been asking our guests here na kung talagang treaty ito, and they've been assuring us that it's a treaty, it will pass through Congress. Can you expound on that? And maybe later on, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask you also is may excess, one of the reports that we've received is that 200 plus excessive deaths, no? It's actually the contention of this resolution. Maybe we would like to ask, because your organization is the one monitoring and then researching, getting the data from this death. What are these deaths? Ano pong naging resulta ng mga namatay na 200 plus
Attorney Lat, before you answer, no, para lang sa information ni attorney na naman, si Congressman Sia. Ito, may report Our collective efforts have done it. The New Zealand government has said no to the Wu amendments before December 1, 2023. Agad sila, nakapag-reject agad sila yung New Zealand. New Zealand will reserve its position on the Wu's time reduction for future amendments. So in other words, tayo nga noon, November 28 kaso hindi tayo mabot na sa December 1 na makapag-reject tayo. But the New Zealand have a position. Tayo, well, anyway, baka ang position natin is for the amendment. Sige, Attorney Lat.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to respond, Congressman Sia, Ms. Sally Clark will be able to answer your question. She has been our local data analyst answering and doing the research on excess deaths, and she can speak after me. I would just like to concur with the observation of Congressman Akop about how the DOH has been handling these negotiations. Congressman Akop, I agree with your observation that they have treated this as a purely executive function. They have made no intention to involve Congress, and that is shown by how they acted with regard to the amendments to Articles 55, 59, 61, and 63. The DOH seems to be very oblivious to the legal rules governing amendments to the IHR. There is a rule in the IHR that says that the text of any proposed amendment shall be communicated to all states parties by the Director General at least 4 months before the Health Assembly at which it is proposed for consideration. Actually, Your Honors, there is nothing to discuss at this World Health Assembly. They are not authorized to approve anything at this World Health Assembly because up to this moment, there is no final package as admitted by the DOH. So, it's very clear from the rules of the WHO, which incidentally the WHO has been disregarding. And our own negotiators, our own DOH, has been disregarding the rules. Mr. Chair, if you remember, I think it was during the second hearing, they were forced to admit that they had no legal assistance. They had not approached the DOJ, they had not approached the OSG, they had no benefit of legal assistance in negotiating what is essentially a legal agreement. And so, they disregarded this rule, Mr. Chair. And for the DOH to say that reducing the period from 18 months to 10 months and 24 months to 12 months is merely procedural, Your Honors, it shows a grave abuse of their discretion. They have terribly misjudged this. From a legal perspective, for example, Congressman Abante, you may appreciate this as, as a human rights advocate. The right to appeal, the right for remedy is a substantive right. It is not merely procedural. So if the right to appeal, which is originally 60 days, is reduced to 30 days, that is not a mere procedural change. That is a substantive change. And we wish to announce to the honorable Congressman present here and to everyone who's listening that Congressman Dan Fernandez wrote the World Health Organization on November 28th to assert that what was done by the DOH was illegal. This was received at the WHO headquarters in Manila. And Congressman Dan Fernandez spoke for the Filipino people when he said that this act of agreeing to the amendments or not objecting to it was illegal under WHO rules. Lunas Pilipinas backed up Congressman Fernandez's letter to the WHO. We sent a letter on behalf of the Filipino people. If the DOH is not willing to stand up for the rights of the Filipino people, there are people like Congressman Fernandez and the honorable congressman here in this room who will. And there are Filipino people who are sick and tired of how the DOH has let us down, has refused to admit that people are dying, turning a blind eye to the people who are getting sick, turbo cancers, myocarditis, children who are suddenly sick as if they are 60, 70-year-old people. Your Honors, we have seen the cavalier attitude of the DOH here over the past 5 hearings. They don't care. We look into their eyes, there does not seem to be any sympathy for the people who have died, for the people who are now physically disabled because of these vaccines.
Attorney Lat, you still have words, no? But I'd like to ask you, when you wrote a letter to the WHO, what was the answer given to you?
There was no answer, Congressman Abante.
Disturb tayo.
There's no answer. Hindi kayo pinansin.
It was received. We were
It
able
was
to confirm
received,
that it was
but
received.
there was no answer.
There was no answer.
I just want to put on record, Mr. Chair, that there's no answer given. Now, if, for example, the DOH would, in a way, support you on this, you think it will help?
With all due respect, I think it's too late because according to the rules, any amendments, any objections to the amendment should have been made by December 1, 2023.
Okay, now perhaps in the current situation right now, it will not be too late because the Bureau of Quarantine of the Department of Health made a heightened alert over flirt. I'd like to find out from the DOH, is this one of the amendments given by the WHO or the treaty given by that you should declare heightened alert, that you are just obeying WHO treaty on this? DOH.
And before
Heightened
you...
alert. I would like to find out where you got the word heightened alert.
Yes.
What is this a precursor of another lockdown? Because it's heightened alert.
Yes. Before you answer, no, in addition to that, kung mapapansin mo lahat ng mga pronouncement ng WHO at si Tedros, sinasabi, prepare for the next pandemic. Sinabi ni Biden, prepare for the next pandemic. Ito naman, Pilipinas, so heightened alert, prepare for the worst. Are you conditioning the minds of the Filipinos to be prepared on something? Kaya nakakaano. Sige, si Sir, ano pa pangalan nila? Can you state your name?
Dr. Gilberto Feliciano, representing po yung DOH Bureau of Quarantine.
Sige, paano nyo na ano tong heightened alert na ito? Anong batayan ng Bureau of Quarantine on the heightened alert status?
Actually, sir, that is dapat for our stations to be alerted. Siyempre, our mandate as a bureau.
Di ba yung heightened alert na yan nagbibigay ng takot sa mga tao yan?
Sir, dapat kasi yan yung that is supposed to be given to our stations from the NCR, the whole of the Philippines, in all our international airports and seaports, because that is our mandate that we should look for and prevent the entry of other of all diseases that can be carried on.
Ito, singit lang ako. Because of this kind of news, no? Tingnan mo, ang dami sa atin mga naka-face mask. Takot na eh. And even sa Dagupan, nag-declare na sila doon na mag-face mask na. Oh, what's next? Takot na naman tayo lahat. Face mask na naman tayo lahat. O tapos, lockdown na naman tayo. O pag hindi ka vaccinated ng another vaccine na i-order ng WH, i-impose sa atin, i-mandate sa atin, hindi ka na naman makakalabas. That's what you want to happen again to all of us. Kailangan kumilos po tayo, mga kasama. Sige, Congressman, Chairman.
I just would like to ask the Bureau of Quarantine. So, what was the basis of the heightened alert? Because look, you're not actually preparing the people for the worst, but you're actually causing people to fear. Pwede naman magkaroon kayo ng screening and na hindi kayo declare ng heightened alert. Kaya ang tanong ko, is that a precursor to later on lockdown natin tong ating bansa because of that? Saan nyo nakuha ito? Is this one of the agreements made in the World Organization that whenever a new COVID virus comes in, that the country should once and for all begin to say heightened alert? Saan nyo nakuha ito?
Your Honor, as the order was directed to our
Who ordered?
our director, Director Salcedo.
Sino ang director nyo?
Director Salcedo po.
He's a doctor, right?
Yes po.
Okay. So, anong order niya?
This is ordered to all station chiefs that are manning both all international airports and seaports. That directive was for them, and a copy was made to the Department of Health. Unfortunately, we do not know who leaked that out, because that is primarily because our mandate is to watch for incoming.
You still have words. Yun ang problema sa Pilipinas. Palagi may naglilik. Now, I just would like to find out, who advised your director to order heightened alert?
Kasi, sir, mandate naman talaga po namin yan. We are always out in the lookout for any, aside for, not only for COVID, but also for other diseases that can potentially come in. Now, the heightened alert, we have the data because primarily we are looking at, we do not want to increase the number of
Sir, anong naging basis nyo? Kasi nabasa ko rin sa mga different news, meron din sa Amerika, meron din sa Europe, meron naman sila X-disease. Meron naman sila iba-ibang mga ilalabas na naman na hindi mo malaman kung saan nanggagaling yung barometer nila on trying to say that there is a flirt virus that come out. Tapos meron din sa kanilang iba namang klase ng virus that come out as well. Para bang nagiging nagiging what do you call that, to sow fear to the community. Kailangan sabi mo may virus na nandiyan sa labas. So saan naging barometer nyo para to say na meron nga ganitong flirt, di ba?
Okay, sir, yung database na we are getting from is actually also from World Health Organization.
So galing din sa WHO.
The numbers. Yes.
Ayan. At least
because then, Your Honors, as we said, we are looking at as our mandate to protect our country for incoming diseases. We would like to emphasize that in order to really be prepared in all to prevent the further lockdowns or any other excessive use of
okay. Congressman Acop, you have the floor.
Director, siguro naman meron kayong protocol or criteria when you have to declare heightened alert or high alert or whatever. Kasi, pag pinakikinggan ko po kayo doon sa heightened alert, ibig sabihin, alert na kayo. Di po ba? Otherwise, you wouldn't heighten the alert. Tama?
yes po.
Ano po yung kondisyon na naka-alert tayo? Kasi dapat may criteria yan di ba? Kasi,
yung increasing number po
pataas na pataas yung alert Parang sa military ba, kung sinabi blue alert kami, may certain conditions. Pag nag-red alert, meron din kaming conditions. Ngayon, doon po sa inyong bureau, meron po bang conditions o criteria rin? Basta nag-declare na lang kayo ng heightened alert without trying to find out whether certain criteria are existing.
Of course, sir, Your Honor, we will base it on the increasing number of cases all over the world. Now,
Not basically number of cases in our country. Why use the data for the whole world?
kasi po ang mandate namin po, Your Honor, is that
No, hindi po nyo sinasagot yung tanong ko po eh. Why should you base your decision on a data for the whole world when in fact it would only affect, your decision would only affect our country?
Yes, Your Honor. Because our mandate is to protect our country from incoming diseases.
Yeah, I agree. Pero ang tinatanong ko nga is, ano yung mga criteria for you para mag-declare na on alert tayo? Ngayon sinabi nyo sa dyaryo, heightened alert tayo. Kasi kami, sa organization na pinanggalingan ko, pag nag-declare kami ng blue alert, there are certain conditions present. Pag nag-declare kami ng red alert, there are certain conditions present. Sa inyo bang bureau, wala po yun? Or you just, because of the data or because of the order of WHO, mag-declare kayo ng heightened alert?
Your Honor, we always base it on data.
Which data are you referring to?
The data of the increased number of cases.
How many cases do we have in the Philippines right now?
Yes.
How many cases do we have in the Philippines right now?
I have no data on the
Wala pala kayong data.
because this is
How would you
we're
bakit
speaking
heightened
of
alert yan?
international data. But for the Philippines, I have no data on.
Please, Congressman Ako, please stay. Please stay. We need you here. We need you here.
Mr. Chair, if I may add, I think that's...
No, you have to answer rightly, ano. You are the representative of the, ano ba to, sa...
Bureau of Quarantine. But that
Bureau
will
of
be under
Quarantine
Department
kayo.
of Health.
Dapat precise ang sagot nyo. Well, wait. We need to invite in the next hearing, we will be inviting the Director Ferdinand Salcedo. The COMSEC is hereby directed. Cool ka muna, Congressman Ako. Alam ko mainit na ulo mo.
Mr. Chair, we are just circling around, so why don't we just continue this discussion? We suspend the session right now. We invite the others who ought to be here. Because right now, we only have directors here.
Oh, sige. Okay, in the next hearing, we will be inviting over the heads of the different
We'd like to
departments.
invite the head of the Bureau of Quarantine.
Yeah.